Verily I say to thee, love thyself. When I was a kid growing up, I had a stepdad who was pretty narcissistic. He was under the impression that tough love was the best form of love. And there's a lot of people I'm sure you see in your life that do that sort of thing. The problem with it is it can get out of control, and it can give a child unnecessary obligation. I'm pretty sure I traced back when it started. It was right after my mom met him and we moved to Chicago from northern Minnesota. And I remember, because my mom was childhood diabetic, so her emotions were just everywhere all the time. And I didn't get along with her, even from an early age, which is a trip, because you're supposed to really have this attachment to your mother, but I just didn't. I was around my grandparents 90% of the time, and I saw my mom when she either wasn't working as a bartender or wasn't partying with her friends or wasn't having some type of chemical imbalance from her diabetes. So when my stepdad and her got together and we moved to Chicago, it was a pretty big event for me. Blew me away. I'd never been to a big city before. I grew up in northern Minnesota in the woods, on a lake, and it's one of the reasons I'm attracted to this area here. And I remember my mom starting to yell at me over something, and it was normal. She would have situations where things like that would arise, and she would just start yelling for no reason. And she got mad at me for something, and I don't even remember what it was. She said, fine, you can go back and live with your grandparents in Minnesota. And I was like, hot shit. Yeah, great. Let's do that. I don't like it here. I didn't like the schools. I didn't like the people. It wasn't even a like. It was a nobody enjoys change. And I remember sitting on my bed. I had packed a suitcase with all of my clothes and my little toy gun and my Star Wars figures, and just my favorite ones, not the extras. And I was sitting there patiently on my bed with my suitcase next to me, and my stepdad comes in and he goes, you really hurt your mom's feelings. I said, well, I didn't mean to, but I would really like to go live with my grandparents. I mean, that's what she said. And he goes, but she loves you. I went, yeah? And I love my grandparents. And I think that was the moment that because throughout my life, he thought I was a sociopath. And I didn't have those type of tendencies. I didn't have intense feelings for people, unwarranted feelings for people. I don't know, there was some weird thing when I was a kid. I just realized that a lot of the struggle that we put ourselves through is our own making. Our opinions of ourselves is what causes all the strife in the world. And I just didn't align with it. And I didn't hold it against myself, but he sure as hell did. And so he adopted this tough love method. He just needs discipline. And he has too many toys. And so he didn't buy me anything when I was growing up. No toys, no extras, no perks, not even a fucking candy bar. He wouldn't buy me anything. And, it started this ho-hum mentality with me. Like, oh, I just don't get anything. I just don't get stuff. Maybe I just don't deserve it. And it took years and years of steady meditative practice to get myself out of that loophole, because you get caught in those spirals, and man, it could take your whole life away. But he would call me a loser. Said I was wasting my time playing guitar. I waste my time drawing. My artistic endeavors were bullshit. Never gonna make it in the industry. He was pretty anti-Semitic, and his philosophy was that Jews ran everything. And that's neither here nor there. The reality is if you enjoy something, you should do it. If you love something, you should do it. If you love to draw, draw. You know? If you love to play guitar, play guitar. It doesn't even matter if you're professionally trained, classically trained. It doesn't matter. Find things that you love and let it destroy you. So I was constantly, or not constantly, but consistently bombarded with negative self-talk because of that. And like I said, it took years. So I'm thinking that there's probably some people that watch my channel and maybe have the same thing, because we're all attracted to like minds. And I'm telling you right now, the opinions of others are just opinions. Self-talk is important. Self-love is important. Loving yourself, finding the things in you that are irresistible to you. Because I'm telling you, you're never going to get in a good relationship. You're never going to have a healthy friendship or relationship unless you have one with yourself first. It's just the way it goes. You'll just keep looping and going through lesson after lesson after lesson, hoping to find something that loves you the way you would like to love you. And it's sad, because I see it a lot. I see it everywhere. You know, the meth addicts, the guys that you see twitching and screaming at each other or themselves or a light pole, they just don't love themselves. That's it. The homeless people, I mean, a lot of that is bad circumstances. We're in a weird country with weird laws and weird capitalistic ideals and pull yourself up from the bootstraps kind of society. And that's just not how a tribe works. A tribe works through unified effort. But we don't give each other credit, and we don't take control of things that we are the ones in control of. Our politicians are nobodies. They're nobodies. They work for us. And when they're not working for us, they're working against us. And that's a damn truth. So we're voting these type of people in over and over and over again, hoping for different results. And now it's gone so far that we've been given two choices. And both of those choices are bad choices. The lesser of two evils is still evil. And that's how you can reflect back on yourself in that same type of way. What am I saying to myself on a day-to-day basis that is holding me back from loving myself in the way that I need to be loved by me? If what you're doing is causing you pain, stop causing you pain. I've never met a shitty person, not intrinsically. I've met people that have done shitty things. I've met people that shit on themselves. I've met people that shit on other people, but I have never met a shitty person. Everybody's capable. Your thoughts will lead you in whatever direction you need your thoughts to lead you in order to learn the lessons that you know you need to know. On a spiritual level, on a soul level. And that's that. Do yourself a favor. It's not about positive affirmations. It's about truly believing it, getting to the center of yourself, going into the void in meditation, and finding out what the fuck is wrong. Because if you don't love you, there's something fucking wrong. Because you're a beautiful human being. Every goddamn one of you. And it's fine to make mistakes. We all do. Just learn from them. If you've treated somebody terribly in your life, recognize that pattern, that behavior, and change it. It's just that simple. I don't want to be that person. I don't have to be that person. This isn't a tough love universe unless it's tough to love yourself. Do yourself a favor. It's, like I said, it's not positive affirmations. It really isn't. It's knowing at the core of you that you're a decent human being and you can make a change without getting into little pissy fights, little childish fights with other people. It's pointless. If somebody doesn't like something that you say on a YouTube comment or a Facebook post, who gives a shit? As long as you are being authentic and honest with it at that moment, that's all that matters. As long as you're not lying to you or anyone else, what's the big deal? What's the harm? There is no harm. So we allow way too many people out there to affect what's in here, and that's not necessary. What's in here is what matters. Do the best you can. Try. Give it your best shot. If you fall, you fall. Get back up and do it again. But never, ever speak to yourself negatively, because you're not a negative being. You're perfect just the way you are. There's perfection in imperfection. And that's what's fucking beautiful about it. And that's what AI will never be able to do. It'll never be able to compose an imperfectly perfect fucking song. It'll never be able to perfectly, imperfectly create art or writing. It can imitate, it can pretend, but it will never ever be, because it's the perfection in imperfection that makes the human condition worth living. So go live. Live as much as you can, live as hard as you can, live as directly and authentically and vulnerably as you fucking can. Because who gives a fuck what everybody else thinks? It doesn't matter. Wear what you want, talk how you want, learn how you want, and love how you want. As always, much love.